Hi students, in this lecture video we will be doing MCQs from wherever we have stopped last time. I think last time we did question number 32. So today's questions after 32 will be based on total internal reflection, some of the questions. So let us just revise quickly. So I told you that if there is a boundary separating two medium, then one medium will be denser, one medium will be rarer. Or this may be denser, this will be rarer. So let us say this is denser medium. Then this will have refractive index Nd, this has some refractive index Nr. Then, if total internal reflection has to take place, light has to travel from denser to rarer. That is the first condition. Here to here, total internal reflection will never happen from rarer to denser. Always from denser to rarer. Then the second condition is this angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle. Then only the light will totally internally reflect. Okay. So if this is greater than critical angle, this angle and this angle will be same only, right? From law of reflection. And this deviation, if you want to calculate, this is called deviation. That will be how much? This total angle is 180 minus 2i. Okay, so this is the formula for deviation when total internal reflection takes place. And what is the relation between the critical angle and this refractive index? Sine of critical angle is equal to refractive index of rarer medium by refractive index of denser medium. Whenever the rarer medium is air, if this is air, then you can just write here 1. If it is air, okay, then this formula will become 1 by n. What is n? Refractive index of the denser medium. Why I wrote 1? Because for air we take refractive index to be 1. So remember these two formulas. Besides this, nothing else you know, nothing else you need to know. Just little bit of geometry and all. So let us solve problems based on this concept. So see question number 33. If the critical angle for total internal reflection from medium to vacuum, vacuum matlab refractive index will be 1, exactly 1. From medium to vacuum is 30 degrees. So critical angle is 30 degree. They want velocity of light in the medium. So this critical angle is from which medium to which medium? Medium to vacuum. Medium to vacuum. That means denser to rarer medium. Then what is the formula for sine of critical angle? Since it is vacuum, refractive index of rarer medium will be 1. For denser medium, we don't know. Now this is given 30 degree. Sine of 30 will be half. So if you cross multiply, refractive index is 2 of the medium. Now they want speed of light in that medium. The formula for speed of light in that medium is speed of light in vacuum divided by refractive index. If you cross multiply, you will get the formula which we discussed in the class. So speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 power 8, refractive index is 2, so 1.5 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So this gives us which option, students? Option B. Let's see the next one. A beam of light composed of red and green rays. So the beam of light is composed of red and green. Similar type question, if you remember, we have done in the NCERT exemplar questions. Okay. So a beam of light composed of red and green rays is incident obliquely at a point on the face of a rectangular glass slab. When coming out on the opposite parallel face, the red and green rays emerge from 2 points propagating in two different non-parallel direction, 2 points propagating in two different parallel direction. Option B will be right. Let us see why. So this is your rectangular glass slab. The light which is coming from here Obliquely they told. Obliquely means at some angle, not normally. Okay. This light is having two colors, red and green. Now you know that violet deviates the most, red deviates the least. So red will bend, rather to denser, it will bend towards the normal. But red will bend, red will bend more, red will bend less. So I have to show red somewhere here. Red will go somewhere here, green will go somewhere here. Understood? And then you know that because of lateral shift, since this medium and this medium are same, if this light is like this, if this is the direction of incident ray, this light should go parallel to this light should go parallel to this. So we know that because of lateral shift, which we studied in our regular class, whenever this medium and this medium are same and these two faces are parallel, incident ray and emergent ray must be parallel, that we know. But the two colors will not emerge from the same point. It will emerge from different point. Okay. So let us see which one is it. Already you know, see, VIBGYOR. So you need to remember that violet deviates the most from its initial direction. So if you go this side, red will deviate the least. So out of red and green, green will deviate more from its initial direction. So green will deviate more. So this will be green, this will be red. Okay. So option B we have to tick because option B says the red and green rays emerge from two points propagating in two different parallel direction, not same direction. Okay. So option B. Another way to understand, suppose you are not able to remember that violet deviates the most. Another way to understand is using Snell's law. So this angle is I. This angle is I for both the colors, right? Now what is the formula? From air to glass. So 1 into sin I equal to n into sin R. Now you need to remember that refractive index for violet is larger than red. So here it is not violet and red. Here it is red and green. So green will have more refractive index than red. This is from our Cauchy's relation, right? Okay. Now this is same for both the colors. Now for green color, this is more. Refractive index is more for green color. See? So if refractive index is more for green color, sin R should be less for green color because the product should be constant. 2 3s are 6, 3 2s are 6. So if one number increases, other number should decrease. So R should be less for green color than red color. So R matlab angle of refraction. So this angle is for green and this angle is for red. So you can see green has smaller angle of refraction. If green has smaller angle of refraction means what? It should bend more from its initial direction. So there are two ways to solve the problem. Whichever way you feel comfortable, you do it. Okay, this is for green, remember. This angle of refraction is for green and this angle of refraction is for red. And as you can see, green will have smaller angle of refraction because green has larger refractive index. Okay, let us now discuss the next question. So the next question says, a ray of light is incident at an angle I from denser to rarer medium. In diagram they have shown this way. Okay, like this they have shown. Denser to rarer medium. The reflected and refracted rays are mutually perpendicular. The angle of reflection and angle of refraction are R and R dash. Then the critical angle will be what? They want critical angle. So this is your angle of incidence. It is going from denser to rarer. Denser to rarer. If it is going from denser to rarer, it will bend towards the normal. and this will be reflected in such a way that this angle and this angle must always be same. So this is not an example of total internal reflection, remember. This is an example of partial reflection, because some light is reflected, some light is refracted. So one thing is clear, in this problem, angle of incidence is less than critical angle. Okay, otherwise this light will not be there. No, if I was greater than critical angle, total internal reflection will occur. Okay. Now, they told these two rays are mutually perpendicular. This is given in the question. We need to find, okay, wait, they told the angle of reflection is R. Achha, here they have given R, which you know must be same as this. Okay, angle of reflection, and this should be same from law of reflection. And R dash is for what? Angle of refraction. So for this they are writing R dash. See, in question they can use whatever symbol they want. Then we have to find critical angle. Options are sine inverse sine R, sine inverse tan R dash, sine inverse tan I, tan inverse sine I. So we have to write in terms of critical angle in terms of either this or this or this. So let us try to see. First we know that sine of critical angle is 1 by n. This we know, right? Because it is traveling from denser to rarer medium. They did not mention the rarer medium. Let us assume it is air. So I'm assuming it is air. This is denser medium N. Now, how will you bring angles? Because this is refractive index. We need to bring angles. So we will use Snell's law here. So if you use Snell's law, it will be n into sine I. Be careful, because I is in this medium. So n into sine I is equals to 1 into sine R dash. Sine R dash. So your n will be equal to sine R dash divided by sine I. Then if you substitute this here, we will not get the option, because there will be R dash also, I also, right? So let us see that this and this they have given as 90 degree. So we know this total angle is 180, right? So from here I can write I, or I can add R plus 90 plus this R dash must be equal to 180. Yes or no? This total angle is 180. So R dash I can write 90 will go this side, 90 minus I. So this I can now substitute here. That if I do, this will become sine R dash will become cos I divided by sine I. Yes or no? Because R dash is 90 minus I. Substitute here, sine 90 minus I is cos I. So n is this much. Now if you substitute here, this value, this n here, you will get sine C is equals to n value is cos I divided by sine I. Substitute here. So cos I divided by sine I. Sine I will go up. This will be what? Tan I. So critical angle will be sine inverse. This will be tan I, no? Sine inverse tan I. Okay, let me just adjust. Yeah. So sine inverse tan I, which you can also write sine inverse tan R also, because if you use this R, not this one, okay, this, because these two are equal. So let us see which one is matching with the our answer. So sine inverse tan R dash is wrong, sine inverse tan I is correct, tan inverse sine I is wrong. So sine inverse tan I, option C, option C. Okay, so we use Snell's law, we use the formula for critical angle, and we use this given information that this angle is 90 degree. Let's see the next one now. A ray of light traveling in a transparent medium falls on a surface separating the medium from air at an angle of incidence 45 degree. So the light is falling from some medium to air at an angle of 45 degree. Okay. The ray undergoes TIR. If n is refractive index of the medium with respect to air, select the possible values of n. Now, if light is suffering TIR, not partial reflection, if it is suffering TIR, so this is also 45, then it is important that your angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle. Yes or no? So this is the condition for TIR to occur. This is the condition for TIR to happen for this particular angle of incidence. Because we know angle of incidence should be greater than critical angle. Now how do I bring refractive index here? Simple. Take sine 45. Sine is a increasing function of angle. So if this is greater than symbol, this also will be greater than symbol. Sine 45 is 1 by root 2. Sine C is 1 by n. So if you cross multiply, n will be greater than root 2. So 1.414. So that this means what? All those values of refractive index which is greater than this number. Okay, for those values of refractive index, there will be total internal reflection, because if n is greater than this, then your I will be greater than C, because this condition came from this condition, right? So which values of refractive index are greater than this? Only option C. All the other values are less than this. So for other values, total internal reflection will not occur. Question number 37, you see. White light is incident on the interface of glass and air. White light is incident from glass to air. Okay. As shown in the figure. So this is the normal. This is white light. And green color is going this way. That means green color is just suffering TIR. Just matlab for green, this angle of incidence, whatever it is right now, no, that angle of incidence right now is matching with critical angle for green color. Remember, critical angle depends on refractive index. Refractive index depends on color. So critical angle will depend on color. So they are asking, if green color is just totally internally reflected, just word means it is still grazing the surface, then the emerging ray in air contains which colors? So which colors will be emerging and which colors will not be able to emerge? So this kind of problems we did, if you remember. So start with VIBGYOR. Then remember sin C is equal to 1 by n. Right now this angle of incidence is equal to how much? Critical angle of green color, remember that. Now as n value increases, critical angle decreases. Now you know that NV is greater than NR. Correct? NV is greater than NR. So as I go this way, refractive index is decreasing. Agree or not? As I go this way, refractive index is decreasing. If refractive index is decreasing, critical angle is increasing, because these two are inversely related. So critical angle is increasing. That means if I take violet, for violet critical angle will be, because it is increasing this way, so for violet critical angle will be less. So let us say right now this angle of incidence is 40 degree. For violet critical angle will be less than this, because this is for green, no, so it will be, let's say, 36 degree for violet. That means what? This angle of incidence, which is 40 degree right now, will be greater than critical angle for violet. So violet will suffer TIR. After violet, this will also suffer TIR. So up to where TIR will be suffered. Since this is green, these colors will suffer TIR. And these colors will emerge. Okay, so which colors will emerge? Yellow, orange, red. Yellow, orange, red. So what is the answer? Option A. So yellow, orange and red will emerge. Okay. 38 let us do now. So question number 38. A ray of light is incident normally on the face AB of a right angle prism whose refractive index is 1.5. So light is falling normally like this. Now if it is falling normally on this side, it will go straight only, right? Here there will be some normal. What is the largest angle phi? Where is phi mentioned here? So they want the largest angle phi. Matlab they want maximum value of this for which light is totally reflected at which surface? AC. AC is this surface. Of course, only here there is chance of TIR because this light is traveling from denser to rarer. Here there is no chance, right? Okay. Now, what is this angle? Let us try to search first. Now, be careful, okay? This is perpendicular, this incident ray is perpendicular to this. So, if I mark this like this and this. So, those two are perpendicular, whichever I have marked. And this normal is perpendicular to this. That means angle between these two and these two should be same. If this was phi, if phi was mentioned here in the question paper, this would be phi, remember. But they have not done like that. Be careful. They have mentioned phi here. Clear or not? So if this is phi, this angle is not this angle. This angle should be this angle. And this angle you know is 90 minus phi. Because this is 90. So this angle of incidence here is 90 minus phi. Now they want light to suffer TIR. Now I don't know if it is 45, it will come this way. If it is 45, it will come this way. I don't know how much is this angle. So let me not show this way. It may be either this way or it may be this way. Okay, depending on this angle. But it should suffer TIR. So for TIR, at which surface? At AC, the angle of incidence, which is 90 minus phi, should be greater than critical angle. Now, how do I bring refractive index in the problem? Because refractive index value they have given. So, sine you take sine 90 minus phi will be greater than sine C. Correct, na? So, this sine 90 minus phi is cos phi now. And sine C is 1 by n. So, cos phi must be greater than 1 by n. That means phi should be greater than cos inverse or less than. It should be less than cos inverse 1 by n. Why less than? Because cos is a decreasing function of angle. Understood? Cos 60 degree is less than cos 30 degree. So when angle increases, cos value decreases. So cos of this angle should be more than this. That means this angle should be less than cos inverse of this. Understood or not what I am saying? Cos 60 degree is actually less than, here I want greater than, so let me write cos 30 degree is actually greater than cos 60 degree. That means this angle is less than this angle, see, unlike sine function. Okay, so be careful about this. Cos is a decreasing function. So if cos of angle is greater than 1 by n, angle should be less than cos inverse. Now n value they have given 1.5. 1.5 is 3 by 2. So 3 by 2. So if phi should be less than this means what? This is the what value? Maximum value. So maximum value of phi is cos inverse 2 by 2. Right? If something should be less than some number, then this is the maximum value of this number. because the condition is this number should be less than 5. So maximum value is 5. Okay, in the limit. So answer is option A, cos inverse 2 by 3. Now if they had mentioned 5 not here but here, suppose, first you write this, pause the video and write. If this angle was mentioned 5, then don't write 90 minus 5. If that is 5, this is also 5. So now what is the condition for TIR? Now phi should be greater than C. So sin phi should be greater than sin C. Sin C is 1 by n. That means phi should be greater than sin inverse 1 by n. Because sine is an increasing function. So if sin phi is greater than 1 by n, phi should be greater than sin inverse of 1 by n. N value is 1.5, so 3 by 2. If phi is greater than this value will be what? Minimum value. So if phi was mentioned here, they would have asked you the minimum value. Okay, so be careful about both the problems. And I hope you understood this, right? If something is greater than some number, if x is greater than 5, then 5 is the minimum value. Let's see the next one now. Question number 39. A ray of light is traveling in a transparent medium of refractive index mu, falls on a surface separating the medium from this one we have done already actually. So this is option C. 39 is same as 36. So let us now discuss question number 40. 40 also similar to this we have done. 40. A beam of light consisting of red, green and blue colors is incident on a right angle prism. The refractive index of the prism for the above red, green and blue wavelength. So let me mention that. Refractive index for red color they have given 1.39. Refractive index for green color they have given 1.44 and refractive index for blue color is given 1.47. As you already know, refractive index increases as you go from red towards violet, because violet has the largest refractive index. Okay, so remember that. Now these values are given, you don't have to memorize it. Okay, now these three colors are falling on a right angle prism. Now this is mentioned 45, so it is very clear this is also 45. Okay, now the rays are falling like this. This is blue, this is green, this is red. Now on this face, since all of them are falling perpendicularly, they will come out straight. Now for this, the angle of incidence, this angle will be same as this angle, already we have discussed. But be careful, this is 45 because this is 45. If this was 30, this will be 60. So this angle will be 60, not this 45. So this angle is always this angle, okay, not this angle. So this angle is 45, here also 45, here also 45. So for all of them, we know the angle of incidence is 45. Now the question is saying, the prism will, option A, separate blue part from green, red and green color. So which color will be separated, they are asking. So this idea can be used for filtering colors also. Some colors which you don't want, you can filter. Okay. So let us see which colors will come out, which colors will suffer TIR. So for all of them, angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. For all of them, angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. So sine of angle of incidence, which is 45, this is 45 for all of the colors. Right? Now, if you want them to suffer TIR, what is the condition? 45 should be greater than C. So sine, this is 4 TIR, okay, 4 TIR. Sine C. This is 1 by root 2, this is 1 by n. So cross multiply, n will be greater than root 2. So n should be greater than 1.414. So only those colors for which refractive index is greater than this number, only they will suffer TIR. So look here, which has greater than this. This is greater. This is also greater. That means green will suffer TIR, blue will suffer TIR. Sorry, green and blue. So green and blue will suffer TIR. Because the refractive index should be greater than this number, which is for green and blue. So this is green, this is blue. So those two will suffer TIR. This will come out. So red will come out. So you can see red is separated from green and blue colors. Separate the red color part from the green and blue colors. So option D. Option D. Okay. See question number 41. What should be the value of refractive index of a glass rod placed in air so that the light entering through the flat surface of the rod does not cross the curved surface of the rod? So there is a cylindrical rod like this. These are the flat surfaces and this is the curved surface. This is your curved surface. They are showing light is falling from air to this medium at an angle I. And this is rarer to denser, so there is no chance of TIR. So this light will go rarer to denser towards the normal. This is your angle of refraction. Now what they are saying is the light should not cross the curved surface. If light should not cross, it means it should suffer TIR. Okay. So whatever is the angle of incidence here, first you have to draw normal, right? And these two will be 90 because of the geometry. This normal and this normal will be 90 degree with each other. And this angle of incidence here they have given R dash. So they are asking what should be the value of refractive index of the rod so that light does not come out from here, no matter what is the angle of incidence. So they did not mention what is this. Listen very carefully, very interesting problem. They did not mention this angle. They are just saying light should not come out. That means no matter what is the angle of incidence, 0, 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 40 degree, 46, 60 degree, 70, 90. Up to 90 you can do. No more than 90 you will be coming this way. So no matter what is the angle of incidence, no matter what is angle of incidence, light should not come out. Light should not come out from curved surface. So this they want. In order for this to happen, what should be the refractive index? Now, if light should not come out for any angle, now listen carefully. As you change this angle will change because of Snell's law. So as you change this angle will change. As you change this angle will also change because the sum of this and this should be 90 all the time, right? R dash plus R must be 90 all the time. So this value of R dash can change depending on the value of angle of incidence. Now we don't want light to come out only. That means whatever may be the minimum value of this R dash, whatever is the minimum value, we will try to calculate. Whatever it is, that should be greater than C. Try to understand this. If minimum value of this R dash is greater than C, then all the other values will be greater than C. So no light will come out. Understood? See, it is like saying there is a classroom with many students. Okay, if I say minimum marks is greater than 80, then it means every one of you got more than 80, because minimum marks in this class is greater than 80. So everybody got more than 80. So if I want light to never come out, every time, no matter what is this angle, no matter what is this angle, my this angle should always be greater than C, so that light will suffer TIR. Understanding? So this angle should always be greater than C. So your marks of the class must be greater than 90. So it to ensure that everybody got more than 90 or more than 80 in this example, I should ensure that the minimum marks must be greater than 90 or 80 in this example. So minimum value of R must be greater than critical angle. Understood? Now how do I find this minimum value? Let us try to see. So from here you can see, if now R dash plus R is always 90, that is fixed. So if R dash is minimum, R will be maximum, because the sum must be always 90. So if one part is minimum, other part must be maximum, because total should be 90. So from here you can see R minimum is 90 minus R max. Okay, so that R minimum we have found in terms of R max. Now R max will be what? That is interesting to find. So now we will try to find R max. Well, it will be equal to critical angle. Let me try to explain. Use Snell's law here. Snell's law. 1 into sine I, because this is air, so 1 into sine I equals to n into sine R. Now you want R to be maximum. N is fixed in this problem. So if R is maximum, I should be maximum. What is the maximum value of I? If I is maximum, this is maximum. So the maximum value of I is 90 degree. More than that you can't. So maximum value of I is 90. N into sine R max. But sine 90 is 1. And this n I can bring down. Right? Now if you remember, this is the formula for sine C. So from here we understand that R max is nothing but critical angle. So this max value is critical angle. So we have found R max is critical angle. So R minimum will be what? R dash minimum, sorry. R dash minimum will be 90 minus critical angle. This is after I have found this, okay? After I have found this, you substitute here. That means if you now substitute this back to this condition, make a note. So try to remember that, okay? This will take time. So try to remember, when light is going from rarer to denser, the maximum value of this R is C, because this will be maximum when I is maximum, which is 90 degree. Okay, so substitute this here. What will you get? 90 minus C should be greater than C. So 90 will be greater than 2C. Right? Or you can bring this 2 here. So 45 should be greater than C. Or you can say C should be less than 45. C should be less than 45 if they ask in terms of C. But here they are asking in terms of what? Refractive index. So let us take sine both sides. So sine 45 is 1 by root 2. Already we have done this. Sine C is 1 by n cross multiply. So n must be greater than root 2. So if n is greater than root 2, then no light, no matter which way you shine light here, no light will come out from here. All the light will go this way by suffering TIR, multiple TIR. Okay, tuck, 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 tuck. So it will not come out from the curved surface, provided n is greater than root 2. Very nice problem. Which question is this? Option A. Okay, since we have done this, there is a similar concept in prism also. In prism. So let me discuss that also. Because if I discuss it now itself, you guys will understand better. So that is called, this is another concept, condition of no emergence in a prism. No emergence. Okay. So if I give you a prism whose angle of prism is A, and the question is saying no matter which way you shine light, this light will go rarer to denser towards the normal. Then here one more, this is almost falling 90 degree, which I don't want. Yeah. So this angle, if you remember, we used to write R, and this we used to write R dash. Correct now? So the condition is no matter what is I, no matter what is I, 0 degree, 10 degree, 40 degree, 80 degree, up to 90 degree you can go. Okay, from 0 to 90. So no matter what is I, no light should emerge. No light should emerge. That means this light should suffer TIR. Now if light should suffer TIR, this R dash must be greater than critical angle. But I want for all angle of incidence. That means as I change this angle of incidence, this R dash will change, because R will change, R dash will change. So if R dash will change, what is the condition? R dash minimum must be greater than C. Are you understanding? Now what is R dash minimum? Well, we know for prism we know R plus R dash is A, not 90 degree. In the previous diagram, if you remember, these two surfaces were like this, perpendicular. That is why this was 90. Now it is A. And this we have done in prism theory. Okay, prism theory, we have done this in the regular class. So if you want R dash to be minimum, R should be maximum. A is fixed. If you change the angle of incidence, why will this angle change, ma? Now what is the R max value? C we have already found, right? So substitute this R dash minimum here. So from here, R dash minimum is equal to A minus C. Previously it was 45 degree, but now it is, sorry, it was 45 minus C. So put this condition here, put this equation here. So you will get A minus C is greater than C. So A is greater than 2C. So if the angle of the prism is greater than 2C, no matter which way the light will fall, it will not come out. It will not come out. Okay, and I have, and to, in this particular case, when I wrote this, remember I assumed I is 90. I 90 means the light is going this way. Okay, it is grazing the surface. So this light will go like this. Okay. And this should suffer TIR. So if this also suffers TIR, no other light will suffer TIR, because this is the maximum angle of incidence 90. Okay. So this is the picture for A greater than 2C. So if A is greater than 2C, even this light will not be able to emerge from the prism, even when the angle of incidence is maximum. What will happen if A is equal to 2C? Then it will just emerge. Just emerge means it will be like this. This is the ray diagram. If A is equal to 2C, and if A is less than 2C, then this condition will not be satisfied. Then some light will come out. For some angle, light will come out. Okay. So for A less than 2C, you can draw this way. Fine students, this is for A less than 2C. A less than 2C. This is for A greater than 2C. So the condition for no emergence, you should try to memorize this. So the condition for no emergence is A should be greater than 2C. Now in terms of refractive index also we can write. For that, if we bring this to this side, then I can write sine A by 2 greater than sine C. Then sine A by 2 I can write greater than sine C is 1 by n. So n should be greater than 1 by sine A by 2. So n should be greater than cosecant A by 2. So this or this, any one you can remember. So this is in terms of refractive index of the prism. This is in terms of angle of the prism. Okay, make a note. Okay. Question number 42, you see. A point source of light is placed 4 meters below the surface of water. So this is the surface of water. A point source of light is kept below 4 centimeters. That is your height, or you can say depth. Refractive index of this water is given 5 by 3. The minimum diameter of a disc which should be placed over the source on the surface of water to cut off all the light coming out of the water. So if you remember, we have done similar problem in our EPL numerical. I told you that this light will come out obviously, but the light which hits at angle C, that will just graze. So more than this, if the light going this side, that will internally reflect, because that light will fall at angle greater than C. This light will come out. Similarly, you can do the same thing this side. This is also C, this is also C. So if you put a disc here, then completely you will block all the light coming out. So they want you to find the diameter of this disc so that no light can emerge from the water surface. Because before they were coming out this way, right? This light cannot come out because this light will suffer TIR. And for that, I have given you one shortcut formula. So if I say this radius of this disc is R, then the formula for this R was h by root over mu square minus 1. Let me check this formula once, okay, whether this is the correct one or not. So to derive this formula, what I should do is, if you forgot this formula, you know that in this, you know that sine C is equal to 1 by n, right? Okay. Now, in this triangle, tan C will be equal to, opposite side is R, adjacent side is the distance of the source from the surface, which is h. Now tan C I can write sin C by cos C. Cos C I can write root over 1 minus sin square C. All this we have done, that's why I am doing it little fast. Sin C I can write 1 by n, and sin square C I can write 1 by n square. So 1 by n, here if you take LCM, root of n square minus 1 divided by n will be equal to r by h. N will cancel, cross multiply. So h will be equal to, r will be equal to h divided by root over n square minus 1. So same formula. I think I wrote mu, no? N I should write. I can write mu also for refractive index. So try to remember this formula, okay? Same derivation I have done in EPL problem. Okay, so here h is 4, this is 5 by 3, so 25 by 9 minus 1. So 4 centimeter divided by root of 25 minus 9 be divided by 9. So this will be 4 into root 9 will be 3, that will go up. That will be root 16 will be 4. So it will be 3 centimeter. So 3 centimeter is the radius. So diameter will be 2r. So it will be 6 centimeter. So that will be the answer. Option B, 6 centimeter. Next question. Okay. Now, next set of problems are based on refraction through a single surface. Spherical surface. Okay. Plane surface we finished. Plane surface matlab apparent depth, real depth, object velocity, image velocity we have discussed. Okay. Bird moving and fish moving, all those problems I have done. Please revise them. Okay. Now, if you have a spherical surface with some medium here, some medium here, refractive index is n1, n2, and object is kept at some distance u. While putting the value, you have to put sign, remember, in the formula. Then the light will go like this and then come like this, and then you will find a image here. That is your V. The center of this will be somewhere here or here, let's say here. Then this will be the radius, right? So the formula connecting all of them is what? N2 by V minus N1 by U equal to N2 minus N1 by R. N1 belongs to the medium where there is incident ray. N2 belongs to the medium where there is refracted ray. So whenever you use this formula for a single surface, you need to remember that. And in class also I have given lot of importance to that point. Okay. So based on this formula also, some questions we will do. So see question number 43. A point object is placed at the center of a glass sphere of radius 6 centimeter and refractive index 1.5. So there is a sphere. A point object is placed at the center itself. So object is placed at the center itself of radius 6 centimeter. So this is 6 centimeter. Refractive index is 1.5. Outside they have not mentioned. If they don't mention, always take the medium to be air. The distance of the virtual image from the surface of the sphere. Well, they have not told seen from where. If you see from here and here, the formula is very complicated. So we are assuming that the person is looking normally. Let us say he is looking this way. Now, for this person, the light will come this way and then go maybe this way or that way. But here I have an idea. It is traveling from denser to rarer, so it will go this way. Okay, even if you don't know that, it's okay, because you should just know where is the incident ray. So let us use the formula. N2 by V minus N1 by U, N2 minus N1 by R. This is a single surface, right? Here refraction is at a single surface, so use single surface formula. N2 is where refracted ray is. Refracted ray is in air, so 1. Image distance we have to find. Incident ray is in glass, so 1.5. Light is going this way. I have to measure all the distances from the pole. So from pole to object is opposite to incident ray. So this will be 6 minus 6. N2 is 1 minus 1.5. For this surface, radius is this side. It is also 6 only. So minus 6. So let us simplify. 1 by V plus 1.5, I can write 3 by 2 into 6. Minus minus is plus. And this is minus 0.5 divided by minus 6. So 1 by v plus 3 by 12 is equal to minus minus cancels 1 by 12. 0.5 is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into 6 in the denominator will be 12 in the denominator. So 1 by v will be 1 by 12 minus 3 by 12. So 12, 1 minus 3. So v will be cross multiply 12 minus 2 minus 6. Minus 6 matlab what? Image will be formed. Oh, here itself. Image will be formed here itself. Oh yes. See, unnecessary we did the problem because the object is kept at the center. So that means this light will go straight only. No, because if you draw normal here, this will be the normal. Correct? No. So I missed that point. Since the object is kept at the center of this surface, the light rays, anyway you draw the light rays, will go all straight because they will fall normally on the surface perpendicularly because the object is kept at the center itself. So but it's nice to know that if you use formula also you get the same answer. So answer is minus 6. Answer is minus 6. Minus matlab this side only. Question number 44 you see now. So in question number 44, figure shows a transparent hemisphere of radius 3 centimeter made of material of refractive index 2. So it's a hemisphere. So let me draw a sphere first. Then this part is not there. Okay. So it is a hemisphere. So figure shows a transparent hemisphere of radius 3 centimeter made of material of refractive index 2. So this refractive index is 2. A narrow beam of parallel rays is incident on the hemisphere as shown in the figure. So there is a ray of light which is coming something like this. So very narrow beam of light, okay, very close to each other is falling like this. Find the image formed by refraction at the first surface. So after refraction here, not here. Here also there may be one more refraction, but that we don't have to worry. Only for refraction here. And this is given 45 degree. And the radius is given 3 centimeters. So I can mark the radius here itself, right? So this is single surface. Now since the rays are parallel, where is the object? Infinity. So object is at infinity. Okay. So let us use the formula. N2 by V minus N1 by U equals to N2 minus N1 by R. N2 matlab where there is refracted ray. Refracted ray for the first surface will be here. So this will be 2. N1 is where there is incident ray. This is air. Outside they have not mentioned, so air. Object distance is infinity. 2 minus 1. R is, now for this surface radius will be this side. Light is coming this way. Oh no, for this surface center is here. No, so radius will be this way. So it is in the same direction as incident ray. Correct or not? So same direction as incident ray means I have to take positive. Plus 3. So this will be 0. So this will be 2 by V is equals to 1 by 3. So V equals to 6 centimeter. So 6 centimeter means what? From here it is 6 centimeter. This is the pole for this surface. Okay, for this surface. So 6 centimeter means it will be somewhere here. So from here, this is 3 centimeter. This also should be 3 centimeter. Image will be formed somewhere here. Let's see the options. Image is formed at B. Okay, they have marked some points here. They have marked here A. This point is A. This point is B. And this point is C. So first option, image is formed at B. No, image is formed not 3 centimeter from here. It is formed at 6 centimeter from here, right? Image is formed at 3 centimeter vertically below O. Vertically below O means here, not here also. If the sphere is completed, if the sphere is completed, if the sphere is completed, the image will be formed diametrically opposite to A. Here, because this is also diametrically opposite means what? This is A, directly opposite will be this point, 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter. So that is the right answer. So the image will be formed diametrically opposite to this point. Option D is none. So option C. Okay. See the next one now. Question number 45. A spherical surface of radius of curvature capital R separates air refractive index 1 from glass refractive index 1.5. The center of curvature is in the glass. So a spherical surface is there. If I do like this, then center of this will be somewhere here, and that center of this curvature they told is in glass. So this side is glass, this is air. So a spherical surface separates air and glass. How do I know this is glass? Because they told center of this curvature is in glass. A point object P is placed in A is found to have a real image Q in the glass. A point object P kept here in air they told. P they have used. Usually I write O, but in the question whatever they have used we have to use that only. So point object is kept in air they told. So this is your object. And it forms a real image here. The line PQ, this line PQ, cuts the surface at O such that, this is O, cuts the surface at O such that PO is equal to OQ. Okay, PO is, so now I came to know Q is exactly here. This and this are equal. So if I call this distance X, this is also X. You have to find the distance is equal to how much? This distance, PO or OQ, distance they want. Now this is the image. So the light is basically coming like this. You don't have to draw the light. No need to draw the ray diagram. As long as you know this is image, it is enough. So single surface, let us use the formula. This X we have to find. N2 by V minus N1 by U equal to N2 minus N1 by R. What about radius? How much is the radius? Well, the answer is in terms of R only. So this R that they have mentioned in the question should be considered as numeric value. So while substituting in the formula with sign we have to put. So N2 is where there is refracted ray. Refracted ray is in glass. So refractive index of glass they have given 1.5. Image distance is towards right side. So this X is the numeric value. So plus X. N1 is the refractive index of air 1. Object distance is on the left side. This is the incident ray. So minus X. N2 is 1.5 minus 1. Radius will be this side. The center will be this side. No. So plus R. Okay. So I put with sign convention everywhere. So this will be 1.5 divided by X plus 1 by X. That will be equal to 0.5 divided by R. So if I take 1 by X common, this will be 2.5 divided by X. 0.5 divided by R. So 5 by X equals to R. So X will be, no, I did some mistake. This is 1 by R. So X will be R by 5. So we will get only positive answer now because we have put with sign. So x is equals to, sorry, 5r. What I am doing, cross multiply. 46. A spherical surface, again spherical surface only, of radius 20 centimeter separates two media of refractive index 4 by 3 and 3 by 2. So this time none of them is air. A linear object is placed at a distance 80 centimeter from the refracting surface as shown in the figure. What will be the magnification of the object? Magnification they are asking. Now here we can't use the V by U or minus V by U formula because it is single surface. So first let me try to find this concept you write separately. Magnification by refraction through a spherical surface. A, okay, single. So let's say this is your spherical surface. This is my object. So this height of the object is, let's say, HO. Now this medium is refractive index N1, this is N2. Light going like this. Okay, now see, don't make it go straight. That happens in optic center. So this light is falling at some angle of incidence I, which is the normal. Now if it is rarer to denser, it will be towards the normal. Denser to rarer, away from the normal. So let's say it is away. Okay, so your image is formed. Image distance is, let's say, here. So then your image height will be this. This will be your angle of refraction, HI. So this is what is going to happen for a single surface. Now, how to find relation between this and this? Okay, see, use Snell's law. Not one, because this is N1. So N1 sin I equals to N2 sin R. Right? Now, angles are small, remember. So if I assume angles are small, then sin I can write as tan I. And sin R I can write as tan R. Because sin theta is same as theta, theta is same as tan theta also. Now why I am doing that is because if I write tan I, and if this is object distance, this is image distance, N1, tan I can write tan I opposite by adjacent. So HO by minus U. N2 tan R opposite minus HI divided by adjacent plus V. I hope everyone is clear why I have written minus here and minus here, because this is down negative, this is left side, so negative. So if you simplify, you will get N1 HO by U equals to N2 HI by V. If I try to cross multiply V here, so I will get N1 by N2, bring N2 here, V here. V by U will be equal to HI divided by HO. Right? HO I cross multiply. Now this is what we call as magnification. Right, students? So magnification produced by a single surface will be N1 by N2 V by U. So try to remember this formula separately. So it is similar to V by U, except this N1 by N2 will also come. So N1 is where there is incident ray, N2 is where there is refracted ray. So this concept, once you remember, then we can solve question number 46. A spherical surface of radius 20 centimeter. It is shown, the surface is shown this side. Object is kept like this. This refractive index is 4 by 3. This refractive index is 3 by 2. So you can think water glass. Object distance is given 80 centimeter. Center will be somewhere here, so radius is given 20 centimeter. So it should be closer than this. They want you to find the magnification. Let us say this height is not given, so let's say 2 centimeter. Okay, from our side. Because I may want to find the image height also. So first what I should do is calculate the image distance. Where is the image form? So formula is n2 by v minus n1 by u equals to n2 minus n1 by r. N2 is where there is refracted ray. Object is kept here. So incident ray will be here, refracted ray will be here. So 3 by 2 v minus n1 is 4 by 3. Object distance is this side, so minus 80 equals to n2 will be 3 by 2 minus 4 by 3 divided by r. R is this side, so plus 20. So try to simplify this. Minus minus will be plus, 4 2s are 8. So 3 by 2v minus minus plus 1 by 60. 1 by 60. Now what will be this? 3 by 2 minus 4 by 3. So it will be 6. 2 3s are 3 2s are, so 8. So 1 by 6. 1 by 6 into 1 by 20 will be equals to 1 by 120. Okay, so that will come 1 by 120. Okay, so this if you simplify, you will get 1 by 6. Then you will divide by 20. So 1 by 120. So 3 by 2v will be 1 by 120 minus 1 by 60. LCM will be 120. 120 and this will be 1 minus 2. So minus 1 by 120. So 3 by 2v is minus 1 by 120. 2 6 are 12 0. So if you cross multiply, v will be minus 180. So v is coming minus 180. Okay. So if now v is this much, what will be your, oh sorry, no, correct only, 3 by 2, correct only. Okay, so now magnification for single surface, remember, is what formula? Wherever incident ray is there, divided wherever refracted ray is there, and v value. So n1 was 4 by 3, n2 is 3 by 2, v is minus 180, u is 80, minus 80. So 0 you can cancel here. 4 2s are 2, you can cancel here. 3 6 are and 3 2s are. So it will be 2. So magnification is coming plus 2. Option A. That means your image height will be what? Image height is magnification times object height. So if your object height is 2 centimeter, it will be 2 into 2, 4 centimeter. Okay, so that will be your image height. Okay. Question number 47 you see now. The radius of curvature for a convex lens. Now we come to lens formula. The radius of curvature for a convex lens is 40 centimeter for each surface. Its refractive index is 1.5. Focal length will be how much? Focal length, if they ask, we have to use lens maker formula. So n2 by n1 minus 1, 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. It is convex lens. So one radius will be positive. First surface, if light is falling like this, first surface will be positive, second surface will be negative radius. So 1 by focal length will be, this belongs to lens, this belongs to surrounding medium. So here the lens is having refractive index 1.5. Surrounding they have not mentioned, so air I will assume. Radius of the first surface is given 40, plus 40. For second one also 40, so minus 40. Because it is this side. This is R1, this is R2. Okay. So this will give you 1 by f equals to 0.5 into 2 by 40. So if you cross multiply, focal length will be 40 centimeter. Option A. 48. The diameter of a, this is a, no, 48. Find the position of an image, find the position of an object from spherical surface, they are saying, such that the image coincides with object. So that image coincides with object. They have not mentioned any radius or something. Okay, so this question is incomplete. So just change the question. I mean, keep the question same. Write down additional information. So given. So some given data should be there. Refractive index of the glass lens is equals to 3 by 2, and radius of curvature is equals to 20 centimeter. So they are asking, find the position of an object from a spherical surface such that image coincides with object. So the diagram they have given in the question is something like this. So look here. They have given you a spherical surface, and this side they have mirrored, silvered. So from here they are asking, from here, where should the object be placed from the surface such that image coincides with object. Now whenever they say image coincides with object and there is a chance of reflection, then please remember the light has to retrace the path. So light has to retrace the path. Light has to retrace the path. Now light will only retrace if light falls normally on the mirror. So light should fall normally on the mirror. Okay, the incident ray on the surface of the mirror should be normal. Now this is plane mirror, remember. So if you draw a ray diagram, this light will go like this. Then the amount of bending should happen is exactly this much. So it should not bend more than that or less than that. If it bends more, this will be reflected here. So final image will be somewhere here. If this is reflected, if the light is bending that side, it will be reflected here. So image will be from somewhere here. So if you want, listen carefully, if you want image to coincide with the object, then light has to retrace. Retrace it will only do if light hits the mirror normally. So if it hits normally, it will reflect normally. Then it will come back because of reversibility principle. So image will be formed here itself. Okay. Now consider the first refraction. So for the first refraction, refraction. If I consider the first refraction, it is something like this. Right? Just like this. That means for this refraction, this is object. And where is image? Image is at infinity. Now you will say, no, sir, image is here. No, this is the final image. After refraction, reflection, and refraction. Refraction, reflection, and refraction. This is the final image. For the first refraction, in order for final image to form here, the light must fall normally. Understood? So the image made by the first one for this mirror should be at infinity, such that the rays will fall normally on the mirror. Same thing you can draw for this also. So for the first refraction, the light rays should go this way. That will only happen when when the light rays are parallel. Then only the image will be at infinity. So here image distance is infinity. Object distance we have to find. Now don't tell me focal length. This is single surface. This is single surface. This is single surface, right? So I'm applying for single surface formula. So once you understand this concept, then it is very easy. Right? Once you understand this concept, then this is very easy. Now what you have to do? Single surface formula you apply. N2 by V minus N1 by U equals to N2 minus N1 by R. Refracted ray is in the glass, so this is 3 by 2. V minus V is infinity. N1 is in air, so 1. Object distance we have to find. If you want to find, don't put sign. If you put sign, you will get positive answer. If you don't put sign, then the answer will come automatically with the sign. N2 is here, so 3 by 2 minus N1 matlab incident ray, so 1. Radius of this side is this side, positive, so plus 20. So the main thing to understand is your image distance for the first surface is infinity. Why? Because the image made by the first one is object for the second one. Correct? No. So please understand, in order for retrace, the light should fall like this. Then only the light will retrace. So for this mirror, if you see, the incident rays are coming from infinity. So the object is at infinity. But for this, whatever is the object was image for the first one, because this is the second event. No, first event is refraction. First event is refraction. Then comes reflection, which is second event. So for second event, incident rays should come this way. That means the object for this mirror should be at infinity because the rays are coming parallel. If object is at infinity, then it means what? If object is at infinity for the second event, it means image made by the first event must be infinity. So the rays are going parallel means this refracted rays will meet where? Only at infinity. So this is infinity means this will be 0. So this will be minus 1 by U equals to 3 by 2 minus 1 will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 40. So U will be minus 40.